No matter where and when you travel across the globe, there will always be many issues needing to be solved. However, if you focus on the continent of Asia, there are many problems taking place in the country of China, particularly in the regions of Xinjiang and Hong Kong. As of late 2017, in Xinjiang, along the northwestern part of China, concentration camps detained different ethnic Turkish groups such as Uyghurs, Kazakhs, Kyrgyz, as well as Muslims and Christians in order to indoctrinate them into letting go of their identity of self to get them to follow the practices and beliefs of the Chinese. Not only this, but on March 29, 2019, 2 years ago, the extradition bill was administered into China's law, which caused a public outcry by its citizens due to the lack of consent present. As a whole, the underlying issue here is the fact that people are being silenced of free speech, free thought, and free expression. For these people of Turkish descent, they are simply people who have flown into the country for personal reasons, whether that be business-related, family-related, or work-related. Yet, they have been targeted by airport security workers simply because of unfair biases catered towards terrorism and the fact that some have a different belief in comparison of the majority in China. This is an issue that more people need to be aware about because innocent people are coming into the country and disappearing without a trace. More people are becoming detained and kept in camps used to brainwash them into being in favor of the country's ideals in order to serve, which, in turn, China benefits from. People are having their culture erased because of their differences.
The program calls them Kashgar and Hotan surplus labor. It also lists instructions for how they should conduct themselves. This program, and others like it, have led to the relocation of hundreds of thousands of Uyghurs away from their homes and families. But government propaganda openly promotes these as poverty alleviation initiatives.
促进喀什和田地区城乡妇孺劳动力转移就业，增加城乡妇孺劳动力收入，体现了党中央、习近平总书记和自治区党委政府对喀什和田地区各族群众的关心关怀。
What's at stake here is about more than just putting people into labor programs. The bigger goal is to turn Uyghurs and other ethnic minorities away from their own heritage to be more in line with the rest of communist China.
On the other hand, a more recent instance of censorship in China would be the 2019 Hong Kong protests. When the extradition bill was passed, it granted the right for the judiciary to decide where a criminal will have to stay since they would no longer be able to continue living and roaming the city they once did, which would help create a sense of ease for the people living there. However, the problem with this is now, if they have access to that, they, the government, also wields the freedom to trial anyone they wish to. This would mean that any person living in Hong Kong can be placed under a trial, despite not having done anything wrong, and possibly leaving the option open to be deported to mainland China. Seeing this as a lingering probability, a protest sparked to oppose this, but, having been prepared, the people were met with police force who tampered with the movement through the sake of violence in order to silence them. To counter these issues, two possible yet realistic solutions would be 1. Utilizing the idea of political pressure, and 2. Exposure. First off, political pressure can be seen working as a 2-to-1 system. By definition, political pressure is where a large portion of media and communications formed by the public come together for the sake of persuading politicians for a change they desire. In that case, if outside countries from around the world dove deeper into this case and shared information amongst each other to spread awareness before banding together, it would increase the chances of a bigger movement beginning to form to emphasize the change that needs to happen, leading more people to find out about the current affairs in China, making it a social, domino-like effect. Entwining this with the first idea, for exposure, if powerful human rights organizations were to delve even further into these, they would find out firsthand of how oppression of free speech, thought, and expression is handled in China, followed by the poor treatment the citizens get from the government. If these organizations came together and forwarded evidence of police brutality plus the treatment and censorship of detainees in Xinjiang, this information could be spread into other countries and help people open their minds to the current problem at stake.